Hey, it's Russ and Lauren from right here on the Infectious Groove Music Channel, and this is a follow-up video. We try and do these in pairs when we can. I need to go back soon, actually, and like organize our videos and see what years we've done and which ones we haven't.
We need a spreadsheet.
I know, yeah, no kidding. Well, 600 plus videos on the channel, so it's kind of hard to dig through everything. In the YouTube studio isn't exactly the greatest tool in the history of the world. So, but having said that, this one I know for sure. We had just had a video of 5 great albums from the year 1999, and as great of a year as it was for whole albums, much like the rest of the 90s, it was a great year for hit singles, and also we a lot of times include like stuff that maybe wasn't a big hit but was great. So Lauren has been tasked with sharing with us 5 great hit singles from the year 1999. What do you got?
I am opening up with the song that I think defined 1999 in music in a lot of ways. Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas. Whoo! This was everywhere, and I wasn't even mad about it.
Yeah, this is one of those songs that I put in the Paradise City camp that, like, when it was out, let's say if you lived in a major market, you have 4 or 5 pop stations, right? One of them, no kidding, was playing it. Sometimes 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be like, ugh.
This song again, no. And I mean, like today, when I hear that opening, riff to this song, I'm like, all right, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, before the guitar, you're like, here it comes.
Here it comes. Yeah. And like, not a hot day goes by where I don't go, man, it's a hot one.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's where your brain goes.
One. One thing too, though, and this is a sidebar, but I always wonder about, because this song was written for a Mick Jagger record, and Mick Jagger passed on it. Rob Thomas wrote it for Jagger's solo record, and Jagger passed on it. And in a way, you're like, oh, I can't believe Jagger passed up on that big hit. But like, how big of a hit would it have been without Carlos's guitar work, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
So I always wonder about that. Like, when you hear that story, you're like, oh man, I can't believe Jagger passed up on the hit. But like, I would argue Santana made it as big of a hit as Rob's melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the chorus is the chorus. The chorus is awesome. But like the da-da-da, you're waiting for Carlos to take that guitar away, which wouldn't have happened in
Interesting.
There's a couple other songs on the record we'll talk about offline that there are other versions of the songs that were big. The Michelle record, I can't think of her last
Michelle
name.
Branch.
Yes. There's other versions of things.
Oh, tell me. Yeah, that's a good song.
Yes. The next one that you have is one that if you got in a time machine and got out of the time machine in the year 1999, you're going to hear the song within 20 minutes of being in the year 1999.
That's true. Tal Bachman, She's So High. I freaking loved everything about this song at the time and still to this day. You know why.
At the risk of sounding like a jerk, this was targeted ad for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like this song was like bot written for you.
I know. It's okay. But I absolutely loved it. And I mean, talk about this is the only song from Tal Bachman.
We've talked about this on the channel before. This is one of those ones that, like, the first time you hear that song, you're like, "Oh, this will be a nice one hit for him." Like, you just know
you felt it. Yeah.
It's like Delamitri. You're like, well, it's gonna be a great time to roll to me because that's gonna be the only time.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but what a jam!
I know I absolutely loved it.
It launched 1,000 eye rolls at karaoke.
Oh yeah,
because of the high notes.
Yep, I know. Like, nobody can do it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great song, and one of 2 things has either happened when she said "She's So High." Either you got it stuck in your head immediately, and you're like,
why'd you do this to me?
Or you're like, I don't think I remember that one. If you push play on it in Spotify, you'll go,
from the beginning,
and then you're gonna have it
stuck in your head.
The next one is another one that was everywhere in '99, except I believe that this was more. When it was a big deal, I don't think it was as huge as she would become later.
No, and that's kind of why I wanted to put this on here. Genie in a Bottle, Christina Aguilera. I have very vivid like school memories of this song because this hit like just after Britney with all of her, breakout
she was
stuff.
launched as incorrectly. And we also have a Britney.
Yeah, she was very much launched as that. And, then you get your people in your camps. Do you like Britney or do you like Christina? And I very vividly remember that happening. And I also, in that moment, remember, I literally said to one of my friends at the time in 1999, I was like, this is an apples and oranges situation. They are not the same thing at all.
Well, you have videos on the channel of my whole life I've dealt with, well, what do you think of Michael Jackson versus Prince? Other than skin tone, they don't have anything in common. They're 2 totally different things.
No, and these 2, I'll tell you what, and this song is very fun.
Two women who sort of look the same because the record label made them look that way. Other than that, it's not
No, they're not even close. But yeah,
But what
this
a
song's
jam.
so much fun.
Yeah.
That dun like the way it,
This is another one that if you put it on that summer, I don't think I wouldn't have turned it off, but I would have been like, yeah. But now if you put it on, I'll be like, heck yeah, I remember
it's a
that
jam.
jam. The next one, I don't think a lot of people knew was a cover when it was first out. In my opinion, it's one of the greatest covers ever recorded. And what a fluke. It was recorded specifically for a Christmas present for Pearl Jam fans, and somebody shared it with somebody, and then it became a hit.
Out it goes. Yeah, Last Kiss, Pearl Jam. And yeah, I think if you know, a gun to my head, like what's your favorite Pearl Jam song? For me, it's probably this.
Yeah.
And because again, it being a cover, you know, from what was the 60s, right?
Yeah, it's from the 60s. I can't remember that. We did a whole episode of the Infectious Group podcast about it. I can't remember the original artist's name, but yeah, it's from the 60s.
Right. And so again, I think this kind of tracks for me, like enjoying Pearl Jam, because I also love Eddie Vedder's Beatles covers on the I Am Sam soundtrack, which would come like a little later.
Eddie Vedder has such a haunting voice that things like this, when he sings,
Makes
things
sense.
or even he did, it's not officially released, but he sang with Roger Waters on Comfortably Numb once. He did the Dave part. And it's, I mean this in a very complimentary way. It sounds exactly like you would think Eddie Vedder would sound like singing that part.
Sure.
It's same thing with like Lauren made reference to the Beatles covers. If you know the song, Hey, You Gotta Hide Your Love Away, and you haven't heard the Eddie Vedder version, it sounds exactly like you think it's going to sound.
Right.
And I mean that in the best way. And this, like when Eddie Vedder's singing this, it's like somebody check. Did his wife pass?
Like, is everybody
what I mean?
okay?
Like he's singing
Yeah,
it like he lived it. So
Yeah.
the last song on your list, I feel like, is a great companion for the first song on your list because, again, Time Machine, 1999. You get out of the time machine, you're within a half hour, you're going to hear this song.
Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin. And I am not too proud or too cold to admit that I have always loved this song. Not even ironically, this
No,
song.
it's a good
great
song.
It's a great song. And I also loved, like, you know, that late 90s, early 2000s, that like whole like Latin pop thing that was happening.
Yeah.
I thought like that's very, very cool. And I mean, you're getting a lot of that now too. If you get like catch what's like charting now, a lot of it's like Latin pop, and I feel like that started.
Yeah, it's like Bad Bunny's like the most
Yeah.
streamed artist. Yeah.
And that started in, you know, the kind of with this like this time, you know, Ricky Martin's out there saying like, look at this is excellent. And I'm like, no, it really is.
No, I agree.
This is excellent.
And this is, I don't know if this is embarrassment or not, but when I was a kid, Menudo launched the band, right? And I always remembered Ricky Martin from that, and then forgot anything about anybody in Menudo. So when this came out, I was like the kid from Menudo? You know, like I guess it would be like when Don't Stop Till You Get Enough hit, and people were like, the kid from the
Jackson
yeah,
5?
like, you know what I mean? Like, and I like that was my thing, was I was like, that's the kid from Menudo though. Like you know what I mean? Like I was just kind of like, oh, holy crap, he's back. Yeah, I was just kind of surprised that he was back. But yeah, like the whole, we've talked about this on the channel before. Don't do the whole I love things ironically, or like I used to love that, but I don't now. Like somebody left a comment on the channel recently and was like, said something like, oh, that was cool then. Like, no, it's either cool or not. You know what I mean? Like it's like you have no standard to live up to but your own.
Yep.
You know, but this song is great.
It's so good.
It's just great. I dare anybody who thinks they're cooler than this song, put it on. If you must, put it on in a room by yourself and try not to move a little.
You absolutely. On full disclosure, I didn't just buy the single. I bought the whole album.
Yeah, well, it's a good record.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a good record. So this was our follow-up to the 5 great albums from 1999. There were so many great singles that year. We only do these videos in 5s, by the way, specifically so you go, oh, what about this song? What about this song? What about this song? Or you have comments on the ones that we shared. So that's why we do them in this. We were aware that there were tons more songs. We would love to have a discussion with you.
These weren't the only 5?
Yeah, these are not the only 5 songs. Might seem like it at times during that year. But again, my name is Russ. That is Lauren. Please drop a like on the video. If you would, please share this out on your social media and show your friends, your wonderful friends that you met on the internet. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.